we're going. Me and Dottie. We are in Santa Rosa and heading back to Sumner Lake State Park, and it's about 40 miles away. So we'll be on the road 45 to 50 minutes getting. So we just came off of the historic Route 66. We went to the Auto Museum that's here, that's fairly well known. And I went with Deborah Dickinson and Fruga RV Gal. So we went to the museum. We all went to the museum together, and then we all went for a nice lunch. I'm going to have separate videos on both those events and a drive and talk. You know, if you haven't been with me for very long, for quite a while, I did these videos called Drive and Talks, where I would drive and just talk about whatever was on my mind. And those were, I wouldn't say any of those videos were viral, but my subscribers, my core group of subscribers, seem to like it a lot. So we're going to try that again. And sorry about the beeping noise. That's my progressive driving monitor thing saying it doesn't like something. I don't know what I'm doing it doesn't like, but I'm not speeding, I'm not hard braking. I don't know. It's annoying. I can't. You plug this thing into the diagnostic port under your dash, and it records your driving habits and transmits them back to Progressive Insurance. And what you're looking to do is show them how good a driver you are, so they give you a discount. So I don't know whether I'll get a discount or not, but after a while they say, okay, you're done, you can send it back. It's an expensive thing. It's got a cellular receiver in there, so it's connected to the internet independently. So hopefully I can get rid of it soon, and they can tell me whether they're going to be willing or not to give me a discount. I think I'm a good driver, but it sure as hell beeps at me a lot. I can tell you that much. So, you know, these driving talks, often I will show you the road ahead and a reverse view. Doing it a little differently this time, simply because the drive from Santa Rosa to Sumner Lake is boring. It is flat, it is featureless, it is not exciting, it's not cool. So you're going to get to look at me, and I really want to test out how this camera, little GoPro 10 does. I replaced my old GoPro. It wasn't really even functional anymore. It was a GoPro 4. So I'm 6 now. I've jumped from a 4 to a 10. The latest one they have is a 12, but I'd like to stay behind a little bit so I save money. Like the 12 is, you know, over $500. And, you know, one tip, if you want to buy a GoPro, you need to buy more than just the GoPro. There are lots of accessories that once you do your research, you find out you need some accessories, and it adds up quickly. So the GoPro 10 with all the accessories and everything, we're talking close to $400. The 12 with all the accessories you want would probably be more like $700 or $800, maybe $700 about. So there's still a substantial difference. So probably the next one I'll get 5 years from now will be the 12, and they'll have the GoPro 18 out or whatever then. And I'm using my wireless microphone. I don't know if you can see it. It's up here on my shoulder for nice sound, since I might have the air conditioner going and road noise and stuff, so you can hear me. So what's going on with Travels with Dottie? Dottie's falling asleep there, Dot? Dottie loves riding in the car. She will do it anytime, any day. You probably see she's got a little bed there. George the cat, however, is a completely different story. George is in misery traveling. George gets sick no matter what I try. I've tried prescription medications. I've tried adult over-the-counter medications for Dramamine. I've tried catnip. And generally here's how it'll go. I'll have George in his little see-through cage with, a nice little mattress and cushion in there. And George will not be clearly happy. It's a fight to get him in the cage. We get him in the car, he's fine, he sleeps, but at one point every trip the nausea gets to him, and he'll make a very strange noise and vomit a little bit and then go back to sleep. And usually I'll pull over and try to clean out the inside of the cage. I've got a little mattress, then I put a towel on top of that. So when this happens, I just remove the towel and clean it later. And after he throws up, he's fine. But I haven't been able to devise a methodology where he doesn't get sick. So I'm not willing to give George up. So George will be looking forward to the winter, because my winter plan is arrival at Quartzsite, Arizona from New Mexico on November 15th. And if it's like my past 2 seasons there, past 2 years, I will park the trailer on November 15th and I will not move it, except for, maybe a short trip here or there. But for the most part, I'm not going to move it until March. So George will be very happy with that, not moving for that long. And I'm really looking forward to going back to Quartzsite. As all the nomads that I know that go to Quartzsite have equal excitement to me about going back. And that's pretty cool. I really like that. That everybody gets excited just like me to go back to Quartzsite. And I do have a couple of videos on Quartzsite if you're interested. One of them got pretty high volume of views for me, over 1,000. Now, by YouTube general standards, that's not a lot, but by Travels with Dottie standard, with only 2,500 subscribers, that's a lot of views for one of my videos. And it's 10 things that you need to know about Quartzsite. People really like that one. And then there's another one that's a little more philosophical about the nomad community and how that relates to Quartzsite. But Quartzsite, Arizona, love it, love it, love it. And then in the spring, the tentative plans, and the great thing about being a nomad is you don't necessarily have to make definite plans. You can make tentative plans. I will go back up to Pahrump, to Preferred RV Resort, where I'm a member. And I will hang out in Pahrump for maybe a couple months. And then probably, unless something happens over the winter where I change my tune, I'm probably going to go back to New Mexico State Parks. And I need to make that decision by early January, because you make reservations 6 months in advance. And if I'm going to go starting in June, I got to make those reservations the beginning of, towards the end of December, beginning of January. So I'll need to make that decision by then. Hopefully I've got a couple of other nomad friends that may want to do that with me, which will make it ideal, because the only drawback to spending the whole summer out in state parks in New Mexico was, other than my occasional rendezvous with Deborah Dickinson and Frugal RV Gal, it's been, I don't want to forget to mention, I did spend some time also with them and the Dan Van and C-Dub's journey. So that was fun too. But when prolonged times by myself, I could use company. So hopefully one or two people will want to do the New Mexico thing with me. I've got lots of videos where I rave about New Mexico state parks. One, they're beautiful. Two, the annual pass is $225 per year, and that essentially means that, without going into a lot of detail, I can stay 14 days in one of their parks with electricity for $68. That's the camping fee plus the reservation fee, $68 for 2 weeks, which basically means my monthly rent in the summer in beautiful parks in New Mexico is $68.68, which is $136 a month. Try to do better than that anywhere. You can't. So love New Mexico. And as I mentioned, in between Quartzsite and New Mexico will be Preferred RV Resort in Pahrump. And I said I'm a member, and all that means is that you can purchase a membership at Preferred RV Resort. New memberships directly from them is about just under $5,000, but you can buy used ones for as little as $2,000 if you shop, like Craigslist and stuff. And what that gets you is pretty cool. It gets you 1/256 fraction, 1/256 of ownership of the RV park. And it's official, because once they process your paperwork and send it in the county, you get a deed like you do for land, showing you are a property owner, a small percentage, but you own part of the property. And it's a really solid argument for my using that address as my domicile. So the additional benefits are, you get, I think, 35 what they call free days of staying in the park. And it's not really free, because you still have to pay the utility fee, which is about $4 a day. So it's $120 and change for your first month staying there. Additional time there as a member, you pay, I think it's $16.75 per day, which comes out to the high 400s for a month. Depending on whether it's a 28, 29, 30, or 31 day month. But anyway, with utilities, it's still a good price. You cannot stay unless you're grandfathered into one of the old ones, and those are not transferable. You cannot stay year-round. You can stay 9 months, then you have to be out of the park for 3 months. And to me, that wasn't a factor now, because there's no circumstance now presently where I would want to be full-time there. But as I age, I'm 63. When I'm 73, 78, maybe 80, maybe I'll want to be staying in Pahrump year-round. Well, how do you do that? There are a couple of what I would consider luxury RV resorts in Pahrump, where the monthly fee is about $500 a month, including utilities. So it's not much more at all than I'm paying as a member at Preferred RV Resort. So I could move out for 3 months and then come back in. So it's basically, you'd have to move, once a year, once or twice a year. I guess twice, moving out after 9 months and moving back after 3. So, and it's not far and not hard to do. What else do I like about Preferred RV Resort? Great location in the middle of Pahrump. What's so great about Pahrump? Just about everything you would need there. Home Depot, Walmart, all kinds of places like that are in Pahrump, and Preferred RV Resort is in the heart of all that. So everything's very convenient. But more important to me in the long term is you can get in your car and you can hit the Las Vegas city limit in 45, 50 minutes. That's how close you are to Las Vegas. Am I a gambler or something and want to be in Las Vegas? No. I want to be near Las Vegas for two reasons. Just the resources that are available there. For example, I wanted a Discount Tire. I wanted to use them because they're a national chain to buy new tires for my truck, and that was a 45-minute drive to Discount Tire. But advanced medical facilities there's a plethora of that in Las Vegas. So as I get older and I need medical resources, because let's face it, things go wrong as you age, it would be nice to be close to Las Vegas. It's grown in recent years. It's like, the metropolitan area is like 2 or 3 million people. It's big. And also I like Pahrump because there are interesting places to go and see. The least of which is Death Valley. Death Valley is a wonderful national park. I've been there multiple times. I have the National Park Senior Pass, so it costs me nothing to go there. And it's from my place in Pahrump to being in the park is like an hour at the most, maybe a little less. So that's pretty exciting. So to me, Pahrump's an ideal place. I use Mail Messages and More, which is a mail service. And when I want my mail, I send her an email, give her an address for general delivery for a post office, and within a few days, my mail is delivered to me. So I'm pretty happy with the decisions I've made. Now, what have I've been December 1st, so it'll be 2 years on the road full time. And I'm thinking, what have I learned? Well, one of the things I've learned is I don't want to make long-term commitments. And by that I mean, let me give you an example of a long-term commitment I would not do again. I was a camp host in North Idaho in an Army Corps of Engineers campground from the middle of May to the middle of September. It was really too long. I wasn't miserable. My brother lives there. I lived there for a while. There was a lot to do, a lot of people to hang out with, but the freedom to move around and do what I want to do wasn't there for those months. And I almost did it again because I got it in my head, I'm going to do camp hosting in the summer and Quartzsite in the winter and Pahrump in the shoulder seasons, fall and spring. However, I got a gig at Yosemite. I got into the National Park System, which is hard to do. And as it turned out, the campground they had me assigned to never opened. The combination of a late winter and huge snowfall and construction being done that wasn't finished the year before, and they just never opened the campground. So probably lucky, and I couldn't have done it anyway because I had kind of an injury to my hip and back that I needed to be in Pahrump from April through July, seeing a chiropractor and a deep tissue massage therapist and physical therapy. So I couldn't have done it anyway, but if they ask me to do it again for next summer, I'm going to politely decline. So I like the idea that I can change my plans on the fly, and that's pretty satisfying. So that's the major lesson that I learned as a nomad. Everything else pretty much occurred as expected, based on the research that I've done. Now, as far as problems with my rig, I'm a lucky guy, and I was lucky. I bought a 2021 Winnebago Micro Mini that was manufactured in the first part of 2021, which was during COVID and a really bad sign. But as I followed Winnebago Micro Mini groups, it was the huge problems with these trailers happened with the manufacturing in the second half of that year. And I have only had a single problem with it, and it was a water leak under the sink that was quickly fixed, and the permanent damage was the cabinetry is, it's really glorified pressed cardboard, I'm telling you. That's what it is. And if you get that stuff wet, it soaks in the water and expands, and there's just a corner piece that looks terrible. It's still functional, but it looks terrible. I need to figure out a way to replace it, and hopefully I'll do it. But that is the only problem I had, is a leak in a water line that was easily fixed. So, like I said, I was lucky. Now, the truck I'm driving is a 2018 Ford F50 two-wheel drive super cab, which means there are back doors, but they're like half doors, so it's not the full back doors, with the long bed, 3.5 EcoBoost that has a stated towing capacity of 11,000 pounds, and the Micro Mini is like 5,000 pounds. So see, there's that beeping going off, and I'm on cruise control going exactly the speed limit. I don't know why it goes off, but anyway. So I bought it new, and I have had, again, one problem, and it's a minor problem. And some would say it's not even a problem. And that is a little engine light went on, and I have one of those readers, and it was what they call a NOx sensor. And it senses a problem with the combustion in the cylinders, I believe. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, people in the comments will tell me. But the bottom line is, I took it to a Ford dealership, and they said, it's a bad sensor. There's nothing wrong with your engine. And I said, how much is the sensor? And they said, $50. I said, well, go ahead and replace it. And they said, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's $50 in parts. It's $1,200 in labor. I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. And it's basically, I guess you got to take the engine out or something to replace the sensor. And I said, well, what's the downside of me not replacing it? He said, well, you won't have use of that sensor in case something goes wrong. And your light's going to be on permanently. There's no way for us to disable that particular code. But other than that, that's it. And it wasn't covered under warranty. So I said, leave it be. And that is the single only problem that I've had with this rig. And so now it's going on 4 years old. I think, no, 5 years old. My powertrain warranty runs out like December 10th this year. I get about 11 miles to the gallon when towing, and on the highway when not towing, I can get 25, 26 miles. In town, around 18 to 20. It's a wonderful, wonderful truck. I wish I'd gotten a four-wheel drive, so I'd be more confident on taking the trailer out to a little bit rougher areas. Well, the camera cooled down enough so I could turn it back on again. I don't think there's much battery left, but I'm just about a mile from camp. It looks like there's some thunderstorms rolling in for the end of the day. And
in 1/4 mile, keep right to West Campground Lane.
West Campground Lane. I don't think you can see Dottie anymore because she's scooted to the front of her cushion there, so I think she may be off camera. It's kind of hard
Keep
to tell
right
with
on West Campground Lane.
We are getting close to camp, aren't we, Dottie? There goes that.
In 1/2 mile, turn left on Pecos Campground Lane.
That beeping to that Progressive insurance thing is so annoying. They ought to give me a discount just for the annoyance factor. I noticed the flags are at half-mast. I'll have to look up what the occasion is for it to be at half-mast.
In 1/4 mile, turn left on Pecos Campground Lane, then take the first right.
Got a little speed bump going on here. I'm wondering if it's going to overheat again before we get to camp. We'll just see.
Turn left on West Campground Lane.
And here we are at West Campground Lane. Looks like it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. It's 82 degrees. Partly cloudy. Is it partly cloudy or partly sunny? I don't know what the breakdown is for determining whether a sky is partly cloudy or partly
In
sunny.
1/2 mile, turn right on Pecos Campground Lane.
So it's a Saturday night, so like most Saturday nights in campgrounds throughout the country, there are a lot of people here. Weekenders.
In 1/4 mile,
Sunday?
turn right on Pecos Campground Lane, then take the first right.
Sunday they will be pulling out. And that's when you're retired and you're a full-timer. That's a good feeling when you see people and you realize, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to go home Sunday to go to work on Monday anymore. I get to stay here. It's one of the benefits of being older and you get to retire. Although there are young people that find ways to retire way, way before the 62 when I retired. They find ways to do it. They're smart.
Turn right onto the unpaved road, then take the first right.
Be interesting to see if there is anyone
Turn right
in the
on
spot
Pecos
next to me.
Campground Lane.
Okay, this can go off now. We don't need that anymore. It'd be interesting to see if there's anyone in the spot next to me, because the guy that was there for like a week had to leave because it was booked. But it is 4:30 and there is no one there, meaning it was booked and they probably canceled it or just no-showed, which is always a problem in campgrounds, especially when the penalty for not showing up or penalty for canceling is not that much. And we have arrived, Dottie, and the thing did not overheat. It didn't overheat, Dottie. I think we're good. All right, guys. This is the end of the talk and drive for today, and kind of a little bit of a way for me to test out the new GoPro. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.